Hello and welcome to DDOcast episode 279, recorded live on Sunday, April 21st, 2013. We like to talk about Dungeons & Dragons online around 4 p.m. every Sunday. You can join us in the live chat room or through G+ Hangouts or from the website at DDOcast.com. Thanks to the mighty Cyber Ears for hosting our audio files. I'm your host today, Siegfried Trent. With me is lovely producer and wife, Ann Trent. Hi, darling.
Hey, everybody. How's it going in DDO land?
And from DDOgamer.com, we have Jeff Hanna.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, or whatever day you might be listening to this.
Indeed. On the podcast this week, we got lots of Lamania tidbits. Got the usual game news. We got some contest winners. We got community news. We got lightning posts. So let's get started with that. Got the game news for the week. Scheduled maintenance on Monday, April 22nd, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. That would be tomorrow if you're listening live. Everything is going down for this one. The game, the website, the account services, the whole ball of wax. This will be the second time this week, actually, that the servers have gone down. There was a downtime on Friday the 19th as well, so that's a little bit unusual. Also unusual for them to do it on Friday. But Monday's their usual day, so hopefully it would be up. And they're down for a while, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is that usual, or is that a little long?
It starts late and it goes long.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Oh, pardon me. But good news. The DDO API has gotten a stay of execution. Cordovan posted on that the MyDDO API is going to be maintained despite earlier plans to discontinue it, and he says that is in a large part due to the fans' pleas to keep it, and so that's awesome. I'm very happy about that. API is cool.
Thank you for keeping it. I think you would have committed suicide if you didn't keep it. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah. There's an reprieve for the fan sites that use it pretty heavily. I know that not our DDO, but is it our DDO?
Your DDO.
Your DDO. There we go. That's a lot of those. Used it quite heavily and had plans to march forward and do a lot of cool stuff anyway, which they'll still be doing, but are now happy to be able to keep the content that they had based on that API. So I am pleased.
Yeah, me too. I guess I'd be a little shook up if I was a portable developer, who was relying on that feed. But hey, here it is. So it's not the death march yet, and maybe it won't be. Right. Yeah. So good job, Turbid.
Yep, absolutely.
Way to listen.
Let's see. We've got forum upgrades, however, are continuing. Pardon me. A little bit of a cold this week. If you noticed, anything posted on Friday 19th or later on will not be migrated to the new forums. So if you post stuff this week, basically it's going to disappear when the new boards come up, which should be sometime around the 24th. That's when MyDDO will no longer be available. It just will go bye-bye forever. So that seems to be the schedule. Of course, something might go a little off and they might not get everything up by then. But they took a snapshot on the 19th. That's one of the reasons they had the downtime. And that's the version of the forums that will pop back up once they do the upgrade. For that reason, obviously there's a lot of Lamania testing of enhancements going on, so they encourage people to give feedback via the surveys or by bug report tool, since the forum posts that people make on that stuff is going to pretty much disappear. So if you are participating, which you should be, since the enhancement stuff is pretty interesting and they're actively looking for feedback on it, that would be the way to do it until the new forums are out. Also, it was revealed Baudry's dark secret. As we mentioned, Protect Baudry's interest went down over the weekend. It turns out that the reason it was shut down was that the Kobold AI was interacting with the crate that you're supposed to protect in such a way that it would cause crippling server-wide lag. So how exactly that occurs, probably some recursive subroutine in the Kobold's AI.
You're saying Kobolds are the lag monster.
They are. They are the source of all our problems.
Kobold hates the box. Oh, Kobold hates boxes.
Kobold hates you. Kobold remembers.
They are powerful critters indeed. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And just kind of cool of them to reveal that to us. A lot of people enjoy that kind of communication. See, DDO video update. Tolero, I think this one went out on the 19th. She talks a little bit about the enhancement update. And what's going on with the alpha test phase on Lamania. So, I don't know if you want to see that. There's not a whole lot of info in there, but a little bit. And speaking of Lamania, we've got week 2 of the enhancement previews are going on. The alpha previews. Squeak of Doom foremost, wanted to thank everybody for all the feedback that he's received so far. Apparently, all that has been very useful, and indeed, there has been a lot of feedback. A lot of people have gotten on there and checked things out. We were just on there today, saw a lot of people running around the little test dojo doing stuff. This week we have Druid, Favored Soul, Rogue, Sorcerer, and Wizard available to be previewed. And along with last week's Fighter, Cleric, and Ranger, they decided to keep up last week's stuff. And also, when they go out for the next week, they're going to have pretty much all the classes available. So that'll be pretty cool. They've lowered the API requirements for each tier of enhancements. So for the class enhancements, it's now 0, 5, 10, 20, and 30 is where the top tier used to be 40. And I'm not sure exactly where all the tier breakdowns in the middle were, but they were all a little bit higher. And then 0, 5, 10, and 15 for the racial enhancements. Well, currently that would let you have 2 tier 5 enhancements. They say that's definitely not intended. They really only want people to have one set of tier 5s from their lists. So they will just have sort of an artificial limit. Oh, hey. Droid wants to chime in there. Yeah. So that's the deal, and which is cool because, as we were saying, it was a little bit limiting the way it worked before. Kind of hard to get some of the stuff that you wanted to get. So I think that's pretty cool. Also, the classes will be available in the final week, which will start on April 25th. So remember, early preview, lots of bugs, lots of rough edges. Also, don't forget to take the feedback surveys for each of the enhancement lines. We'll link in the show notes for that. So, yeah, I know. I got on there and checked it out. I did my Pale Master, and every time I summoned my Skeletal Knight, it crashed my client, which was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's a nice little feature. But I like the Wizard ones. I was able to spend all my points and be very happy with all the things I was spending points on, despite the fact that there's only 2 Wizard class enhancement pages, and I'm pure Wizard, so those were the only things I could pop up. But it was pretty cool to have Pale Master stuff and to be able to take Archmage stuff at the same time. So I thought that was neat.
In the same tree, really?
Well, they're in 2 different trees, but you can take them both, right? So
okay, all right.
Yeah, because there's really only 2 panels that Wizards have access to right now, is those 2, and then whatever racial panel you have. So I didn't have a 3rd panel to pick from. But I found with just 2 panels, I was, it's like Candyland. I'm like, yes, I would like more innate special spell powers and more spell points and more DC and more spell penetration, all good all the time. So I thought that was pretty nice, and he seemed to come out pretty well, although like I said, I really wanted to test the Skeletal Knight because he's quite a bit different. Instead of having the different types of skeleton summons, I've just got the Knight, and then you can upgrade him with all kinds of different enhancements, double strike and extra hit points and attack bonus and damage and things, so that seemed pretty neat. But couldn't really test that out. But it looked pretty good to me. As opposed to the Cleric, I loaded my Cleric up and did her. And yeah, I was like, well, so if I like being a heal bot, this is pretty good. If I want to do anything else, yeah, not so much.
So did you feel that the existing tree choices, I haven't spent any time on the Wizard trees at all, so I'm going to have to do that this week. But does it support a command and control caster too, or is it just a DPS caster, or...
Yeah, no, it seems pretty good. I mean, it's very similar to what you've got with Archmage now. The Necromancer is a little one-sided, but actually there's more options for them than there were before. And then I would say on the, and I'm going to forget the name of the Prestige class, on the Archmage side, it's about the same because, you can pick from each of the different lines, and that gives you different innate spells and stuff like that. Yeah, no, to me, it really felt, like the enhancements on this situation are a little better than the regular ones. Now, I didn't quite measure spell power. I wanted to do up my character, check his spell power, and then check and see what it was like over on live to compare those two. But with my Cleric, I did do that, and the Cleric seemed to come out as a pretty similar levels of healing spell power and overall spell power. Maybe a little bit more, actually, when all was said and done. And she doesn't even have the heal skill cranked up, so that seemed to work out okay. I know people are a little concerned about Pale Masters because heal isn't a class skill, and that's the source of your negative energy spell power at base, but the panel itself gives you a fair amount of that as well, so it seemed to work out about the same for me. So didn't have trouble. Yeah. Well,
and you could take a level of Cleric or something just to open up the skill, right?
Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, you can cross-class it and get a decent value. Right. It's just 1 point per thing, so that's only 14 points you'd be missing, or 12 or whatever. It's not too bad. But that was pretty interesting. I liked it. Like I said, the cleric, not so much. The only thing I noticed there is the radiant burst was a lot better. It was really beefy. I was doing like 700 and stuff with it, so that seemed pretty nice. But I mean, yeah, if you're a healing cleric, it seems fine. It's actually pretty neat stuff. There just wasn't much of anything else in there. The defender line is all kind of armor class buffs and things for other characters, which I guess is okay, but it didn't strike me as very exciting. And I haven't tried out the Rogue Favored Soul Druid yet because I didn't have those kind of characters over there, so I didn't really get to look at them.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do this week, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Ann and I were thinking of maybe jumping in the PvP arena and trying some of the abilities on each other, see what happens.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty fun stuff. There's also a new cosmetic system that you can sort of see on Lamania. You can't really play with it, but you can see the beginnings of it there. So we got some sneak peeks on what's coming up with that. So we're going to tell you about that. Basically, the new system features the ability to actually have cosmetic items that you slot into your character sheet, and it'll supersede parts of your appearance. So there's going to be 3 slots. There's going to be armor, goggles, and helmet. The cosmetic armor is equipped through a new cosmetic armor inventory slot. The cosmetic goggles and helmet both equipped through the new character cosmetic head inventory slot, so I'm guessing you have one or the other at a time. And let's see, they do not function like armor kits. Unlike armor kits, each cosmetic item is a specific static appearance. They do not change based on what type of armor you have equipped. These will be permanent equipable items. Cosmetic armor is equipped in your cosmetic armor slot. If you have the show cosmetic button toggled on, your character will use the appearance of the cosmetic armor. Otherwise, they will use the appearance of your base armor. When you use the cosmetic goggles or helmet, in the cosmetic headgear slot, your show goggles, show helmet / no headgear toggle button will automatically be switched to the setting to show the helmet or goggles as appropriate for the cosmetic item that you are wearing, and you'll see the appearance of that item on your character. If you would rather see the appearance of your actual equipped stuff, you can unequip the item in your cosmetic headgear equipment slot.
Okay.
So they are going to support legacy armor kits. Basically, if you turn off the cosmetic armor, if you turn on the cosmetic armor but you don't have a cosmetic armor equipped, then you'll see the existing cosmetic thing that you applied to your armor. And if you turn it off, or if you have the actual cosmetic armor equipped, then you won't see it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so you can still see your cosmetic armor. There's just a toggle as to whether you can see that, but it's always going to get overridden if you actually equip a cosmetic item. So, so whatever you spent on doohickeys of that nature, you'll still have around. So that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's the deal. And I think, a lot of people suggested they do it that way in the first place. So maybe there's a technology limitation. They've finally overcome that.
Yeah, this is similar to how they do it in Lotro, except in Lotro they have like 6 deep of outfits that you can have. So, they have a complete paper doll of cosmetic stuff, and then they have 5 more. So you can have, you could, if you care how you look, boy, is Lotro for you.
That's cool. Very neat. Let's see, what else? They said they're going to put up cosmetic armor, helmets, and goggles on the DDO store and in other places. And there's a new inventory slots to equip them. When you equip the item, you'll see the appearance of that cosmetic item on your character. Yeah, pretty straightforward. So that will be coming. We don't know exactly when, but you could see the cosmetic armor slots on Lamania currently. Nothing to put in them, but the slots are there.
Seems like a well-done idea.
Really I think so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm happy to spend some turbine points on fluff for my characters. I like that. Especially if the items look cool, right, obviously.
Yeah.
I've got new healing options coming. On Lamania, apparently the daily dice are coughing up something called Gold Seal Healing Elixirs. And these are more powerful healing potions than you're used to. And they have an upfront boost, like, say, 80 hit points, and then they have a little heal over time, X number per second or something that tacks on after that. So Feather of the Sun confirmed that there will also be non-Gold Seal versions that are going to be given out by the collectible vendors. So collectible vendors will be getting these sort of enhanced healing potions that you can turn in stuff for. That sounds good.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem pretty powerful healing potions. Definitely better than the regular ones. They also said the regular ones are still going to be available on the regular vendors. They're not going anywhere.
So they're with one hand of Turban is making it more possible to play your cleric as a battler, and because it's a greater bring your own healing capabilities, right?
Yeah.
Well, this hand of Turbin is saying no, heal with your cleric. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I really think they need to get that third cleric slot figured out and give it a nice battle cleric set of abilities, because the ones that are there are kind of limited. I mean, there's even a buff that basically says lose 50 spell power and take -1 weapon damage to get 35 spell power for healing and a 5% healing crit, right? It's like, if I want to neuter myself and just heal, this thing's great. But
little heal bot. That's boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so they've bent over backwards to make healing pretty cool and powerful at the expense of everything else, and then not giving you any other direction to really go. So I did not think that was cool.
Do you think that with the various healing, they're not? He doesn't call them potions. He's got another word for them. I forget what it is.
I think they're healing elixirs.
Thank you. So they're reusable, and they've got timers on them, and there's going to be different kinds. Do you think there are going to be enough of them, and they'll be powerful enough that maybe the day of the cleric is completely going away, even more than it has?
I don't know. Probably not for raids and high level content. Maybe for low level stuff. Yeah. But I think that's already the case with with a hireling or whatever. It's although hirelings are still probably going to be cheaper to heal. If you get a cleric hireling, if you really want healing, that's the cheapest way to do it. I think so.
Hirelings are cost effective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but at high level, I mean, in raids, you need some heavy cleric action. There's just no way around it. Or somebody who can pump out some serious healing. Bards and favored souls can definitely spec for that, and druids as well.
Yep.
All right, let's see. DDO store news for the week. We got Beholder Creature Companions, regular and frost version, are now available in the store. These are a little different than the one you earn by killing 1,600 Beholders or whatever the heck it is. That would be that's like a chaos beholder, so it's still kind of a special beholder. These ones are regular. They're kind of bucktooth, which is strange. Just sort of country beholders. I don't know what to do with
country beholders.
They've got like 2 buck teeth on them.
Redneck beholders.
Yeah, they're a little fugly looking, but apparently the animations are really cute. I have not logged in. Obviously I will be buying one of these things. Probably just one, but I think that's a given. But apparently the animations are really cute. Also this week in the store, 20% off of Epic Destinies, Tomes of Fate, Keys of Destiny, Underdark Adventure Packs, and 5 free lasting Bears Stamina Potions can be yours if you type in LBSP02. So, there you go.
Yay. The Epic Destinies are worth it, and the Tomes of Fate and the Key of Destiny, but that Bear Stamina thing, I don't know.
Bear Stamina Potions. Yeah. Got low B, maybe. I mean, they do last between rests. Bear stamina is usually kind of useless because it mostly gives you hit points, then they go away when you rest or whatever. So not so exciting. Right, yeah. But those will last through shrines, so they're it's okay. Could be worse. I don't know. Are you gonna get Beholder there, Jeff?
I really wanted to, but then I got to the store and I saw how much they were, and it was like 995 points, and I tried to pull the trigger, and I just couldn't do it.
$10 for one of them, or for a pack?
I figured for the pack. I figured I'd go back to the monster manual and start beating. I'm gonna get a beholder eventually anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is
$10 to hurry up, or just wait. And I decided to wait.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, I didn't realize it cost that much. That's a lot.
It's $10 for the pack, but not for a single one. I don't know how much a single one costs.
They're probably 6 each. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. I just remember looking at it, going, no, I'll wait.
They've been going up in price lately, and yeah.
Well, on the other hand,
there's a limit.
Most of the other companions seem to have gone way down. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're cheap, I really like them. If they're kind of expensive, then it's like, look, it's just cosmetics. I don't know. I'll pay $1 or $2, but I don't know. It's worth a limited amount to me. That's a bit much.
That's like my breakfast or something at Starbucks.
Oh, well. All right. Well, for those of you who would like some beholders, fortunately, we gave out some point codes, so our contest has come to a close. We'd like to thank everybody for sending in entries. We got quite a few of them. I definitely had a lot of fun reading the builds. I was surprised how many domes there are running around Stormreach. least judging by the height of the NPCs. So, congratulations to Schlesser, I think is John, Mary, and Kyle. They all got 250 turbine point codes. Nobody managed to double up a win in any of the categories. We just took all the entries in each category and then rolled some dice. So we actually did it on Lamania this time to see who would win the point code. So that was pretty cool. And Mary by far had the most gnomes. I think she found 9 of them. So there was a lot of screenshots.
Way to go, Mary!
Yeah, although that's not the category she won in. So she actually won in the album cover category. And John won for the gnomes, even though he didn't have quite as many, but he still found quite a few of them.
Yep.
Let's see. I thought I'd go over some of the Gen Con suggestions that we got, because some of them were pretty cute. The first one was a drinking game for Coal Chamber, which is you take a drink every time someone falls down one of the shafts. And but Grease and Sleet Storm are encouraged in this quest under these conditions. So I thought that was pretty good.
It'll turn into the DDO cocktail hour in about 10 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It won't take too
Probably less than that.
Let's see. The ask the devs if we can have a ransack list. So you like type in /ransack and see which quests or chests you are ransacked on. That's a good idea. Roundtable with the developers. It's a pretty common theme. People want us to talk to them. Live recording of the True Dungeon. That would be a ton of fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
I think the True Dungeon sells out almost as fast as Gen Con does, though, so I don't think there's much chance of that. Dress up as kobolds and yark at people randomly. I don't think we'll be doing that one, but it's cute.
Yark. What? I think yark at
volunteer. Me. If I can find some volunteer children, I'll let them wear you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. If we had kids, I'd dress them up, and I'm sure they'd love to yark people. Outtakes and gaffs from DDOcast. Play those. I don't think we keep any of those. They happen occasionally, but yeah, there's not a lot of that.
Ever since we went live, there isn't very much.
Yeah, it's just print it. It's good. Let's roll with that, baby. Yeah, no, there used to be some from doing crunchy bits, because when I'm reading script and then I miss a word, I'll sometimes ad-lib the next 2 sentences to be complete gibberish, so there's probably some outtakes of that, but we didn't keep them. Live role-playing session? Well, hey, you're in luck. We did that for episode 278, which you can get live on the website now. So think of that as an early gift.
There you go.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We'll talk about more of that in just a moment. Let's see, record people's best owlbear mating calls in the hallways.
I love that one. I want to do that one.
We might actually do that. That
was pretty easy to do, just to walk around. What's your best owl?
They could definitely be good for a laugh if we play it back later.
Maybe we could talk Tolero into letting us borrow the owlbear costume.
Oh, that would be perfect, really.
I ain't wearing that one.
We could get in trouble for that one.
No.
All right, I like that. Interview celebrities about DDO subjects that they know nothing about. So somebody gave me an example conversation between me and Michael Dorn, who plays Worf on Star Trek. So I thought that was pretty cute. Have Skaggy do a poem for us. That we may actually do as well. I have a good reason to do it, so I'll probably send him an email, and I'm sure he will grace us with some poetry. Read 300 DDO-themed jokes. I probably have 300 DDO-themed jokes, but I don't think I want to read them all.
That's a lot. No, what you do is you print them out, and then you get other people to read them for you.
Well, yeah, you could do. Yeah, we'll have some, but 300 of them would be a bit much.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I guarantee that you don't have 300 good DDO jokes.
Oh,
no.
Ask for bad ones. So there are plenty. Have Clankenbeard do a parody of the movie 300. That would be interesting. I'll take a parody of Clankenbeard by anything, though. He does good stuff.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Investigate D&D Next and interview WotC about the feedback that they've gotten so far from playtesters. That was a good idea. I don't know. Yeah, we might be able to get a TSR person or something to come by and hang out. I don't know. We could give it a shot. Or not TSR.
Wizards of the
Coast.
TSR does not exist ananymore.
And this is true.
It's back again. There's a new TSR.
Oh, that's right. Actually, there is a TSR.
That's right. There's a new TSR.
Think about it.
They're not real, though.
Let's see. In-depth interview with the developers. Yeah, well, if we get some developers to hang out with us, we'll definitely interview them. How in depth it will be, I don't know. Maybe some, maybe not. Hard to say. We'll ask them all the forbidden questions. No, I don't. They don't give us forbidden questions. We just kind of know which things they can't answer. They're like, well, I can't really answer that, but I understand.
And then then make it a Star Trek trivia game.
That's right.
That'd be so funny.
Let's see. Well, that's about that. Gen Con update. I did get a little update. Our submission passed. Pardon me. Passed another stage, which means they said everything looked good. There weren't any errors in our submission, so it has been passed along to the next stage of their process. We haven't been assigned rooms or space yet, so I think that's kind of the part when it's locked in and we can announce when it is and all that kind of stuff. But so far, we don't have that yet. And like I said, special episode 278 is out. We recorded a live D&D next session, so we're playing the new playtest rules, more or less. There might have been slight variations, with Tolero, Cordovan, Jeff, and of course Anne and I. So it's up on DDOcast.com. And you can expect more special episodes as we try to get to 300 in time for Gen Con, so that we can do a big 300.
I have 5 more to do.
Yeah, we got a few more to do. And we got one that's almost ready with the Epic Education one.
Yeah.
So, did you enjoy the D&D game there, Jeff?
I had a great time. Now, truly, our quest was not quite as world-shaking as people may. we rescued someone's cat. But having said that, I had a great time rescuing someone's cat. So, good times. And a very, very well DM'd, I want to add. An interesting selection of accents are available at your disposal and make the whole thing a lot more fun.
Thanks. Yeah, no, that's a lot of fun. I like to do that. And made a graphic for it. You want to show that?
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, okay.
She
was showing it to me at the beginning of the show. For those in the radio audience, I'll describe. It shows a cute kitten, our kitten, Kaya, in fact, being chased by an angry kobold. So it's quite cute. No kittens were harmed in the making of this adventure. And you guys did a good job. You successfully rescued Mr. Tibbles from the nefarious clutches of the Quickfoot gang.
Those nasty Quickfoots. Those Quickfoots.
Yeah. It was fun. I'm glad the first one we did like a little Pathfinder adventure that we ran, and that was pretty fun. It's a great little adventure. But this was cool because I tried to set it in Stormreach, and I thought that was really cute, and threw some in jokes in there from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it was a good time all the way around. I think everybody had fun. Jerry and Tolero, they both seem to be having a good time as well. Good time. We should do it again.
Yeah, we will sometime. Definitely. That's like more work. Although actually, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Mostly, I was just running off of a big scratchy page of notes with little scribbles everywhere. But I'd spend time imagining it up.
I can just picture your notes, Mr. Tibbles. You have written real big with arrows pointing at it, and everything else. Make up the rest.
Well, sort of. Yeah, there's a little scene diagram. Like I do them kind of like a play or like a something. Here's a scene, and there's some arrows connecting different scenes and things like that. Yeah. Let's see. And then, I usually find all the monsters and put them on a separate piece of paper so I have them available.
Handy.
Yeah. Let's see. DDO Gamer. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on over there.
Well, this week there was a lot of moving over data that I had originally created for the DDO Compendium. And even though a lot of it is about kind of older quests, I still reference it sometimes, especially the quest collectibles type things. So, hey, which stone comes out of sleeping dust, for example, or where do I get this one essence? So for me, it's handy to just have all these things in the compendium, but I can't anymore. So I copied those down, and there's 6 or 7 of this week's articles were essentially info dumps of the same thing. If anybody else wants to remember what quest is the best place to get the right frame for your Abbot sigil or other similar quest collectible thing, just go to DDO Gamer, tag quest collectible, and probably there'll be a small article there that'll help you out with that. But the fun thing I did this week was I interviewed, and we talked about this that I would be doing this last week, but I interviewed the DDO Wiki sysops, or primary editors. They call themselves sysops. Mm-hmm. I threw a a DDO Gamer reader named Lord Silverhand, who also happens to be one of these primary editors. He was gracious enough to take my questions and post them so that other DDO Wiki editors could read them and respond to them, and they really did. I've got 8 editors that are sending various responses. I'm getting a lot of good information. So the article that got posted Friday was about the history of the wiki, and it's kind of interesting. It was started by an 18-year-old named Elliot and an unspecified age guy named Kiva. I guess there at some point was a little conflict maybe, and the wiki went a little fallow, and then Kiva kind of bought it out. Bought was given to me in error or in parentheses. So it's and he's now the one who hosts it. Yes, it is a site that has ads, but everybody assured me that any money that comes in from the ads goes to reimburse the hosting. And that stuff isn't free. That makes a lot of sense to me, especially since the site is fully backed up every day. So somebody's laying out some time and money to make that happen.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you can go through the history of the major contributors. It doesn't surprise me to find out that leadership of the volunteer wiki goes in waves. Because right. I've seen volunteer organizations, new people join up, everybody's really excited, whole lot of manic energy, lots of things get done, everybody burns out, mm-hmm. the new crop comes in, we start over, right? So, yeah. But it's, I don't want to call it fascinating, but I find it interesting, and there's a lot of detail about it on DDO Gamer in Friday's article titled DDO Wiki, The Crunchy Bits. I urge you to check it out. These guys work really hard. I really do feel that the DDO Wiki is probably the most important non-Turban artifact that there is, and it's more important than some of the Turban artifacts as far as supporting the game. And anything we can do to make these guys feel good about the work they put in, I think we ought to do. So
cool. Yeah, absolutely.
And next week we'll I asked them some style questions and how individual story kind of questions. So check in on Monday and we'll have even more.
Awesome. Look forward to that. All right, cool. Well, let's I don't know. Let's go over what we've been doing in game lately. I can't say a whole lot. I've been, like I said, checking things out on Lamania, loading up my characters, fiddling around with stuff, crashing the clients, stuff like that. So having a good time with that. And playing a lot of tabletop RPGs. I played Call of Cthulhu last night, and I had a D&D game on Friday, and I had a D&D game yesterday morning when we did the live recording. So that's 3 games in one weekend. Only had to run one of them, but still, that's a lot of tabletop action. And I've been really busy at work too, so just been cranking along. Hardly played any video games at all, other than checking stuff out on Lamania this week. So that's it for me. Anne, I know it's about the same.
It's about the same, but I did run a couple of raids with my guild this week. I also mostly spending on Lamania reading things. It's a lot of heart, just reading and reading and reading. Like, what does this do? Because I'm kind of meticulous when there's something new. I'll just sit there and like roll over something, read it, and go, what does that mean? I'll make little notes on my little thing and then try to figure it out. And then I'll actually like try to execute it, which I'm about ready to do. So, and my favorite testing spot is the PvP arenas, because that way I can test from my perspective when I cast a spell or make an attack, and then I could turn over to Sig's computer and take a look at what's happening on his side to see if they match up and to see what happens with his defenses in that case. So mm-hmm. How do the penetration values work? What kind of the damage reduction is happening? So that's kind of important to me to figure it out. So other than that, tabletop, lots of tabletop. More so than I'm usually used to. We usually have at most once a weekend, but this time we had 3 all in one weekend. And then I'm preparing to go to the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival and CthulhuCon in Portland, Oregon. So I'm really excited about that. Yay! So.
Yep, should be cool. Yeah, and we won't have a live show that week, but we'll have something. Because we're going to keep the show numbers cranking along.
Well, what'll happen is if I can't put it on Sunday, it'll happen Monday.
Yeah, we'll do something like that.
Sure.
All right. Cool. How about you, Jeff?
I'm still in awe of your epic tabletop weekend. I mean, that sounds like my early 20s. You know, we'd get off work at Friday, go to our friend's house, break out the dice and so forth, and Monday morning, we'd all have to stop to go to work. You know, that was that. Anyway, those were the days, I guess. Let's see. This week, I did get some time in on my completionist, so I figured rolling up through level 16 and 17. I'm only getting to play a little bit in the morning, so actually getting a level in a couple of days is a significant achievement. I think I've got this one figured out to where I will finish level 17 in the orchard and not even have seen the Vale until I take level 18. So I'm feeling pretty good about this life.
Cool.
And that's that for me.
All right. Excellent. Let's go on to community news, see what's going on in the wide world. Shamgar has building blocks 28 stats for Constitution up on shamgar.ddocast.com. So check it out. Remember, con, not a dump stat. Definitely has a nice take on the ability score. DDO Chronicle for this week. Finch Bloomwiffer talks about sneaking up on beholders and cooking them in her blog, Where the Bew Things Are. I thought it was cool because Chronicle was linking to an outside blog, which is neat, part of the our DDO connection group. So that's very neat.
Yep.
Pardon me. Alvitar plays with memes and asks, what character Grumpy Cat would play in DDO? I don't know if you've seen Grumpy Cat. It's sort of a frowning-looking cat that's been on TV and other places. And I don't know. It was kind of cute. People responded with what they thought Grumpy Cat would play. Chronicle comment for the week.
I can see Grumpy Cat being an Onyx Panther.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It'd be a very grumpy Onyx Panther. That never has any fun.
A lot of people chose Healbot Cleric, you know. And,
there you go.
Yeah. That's pretty grumpy.
It can make you pretty grumpy sometimes. You're like, please stop dying. Please, I told you. Oh, whatever. Clearly you're determined. Why should I
out of range? Get back in range. Group up.
Back in range.
Yep. All right, so the Chronicle comment for the week is, if you were a mimic, what would you mimic and why? So I guess that depends on how you would approach the problem. If you are a hungry mimic, you would want to be something that people will routinely use, and as dangerous as it sounds, you might want to be a toilet. People at the wrong moment, but you'll get plenty of food that way, and nobody will suspect it. Catch them when they're weak and off guard. But it has, obvious downsides if you fall asleep or something. So I don't know if I wasn't that. If I wasn't worried about getting a good meal of human being, I think I don't know. I could be a car. I don't know if you can have moving parts as a mimic, but then that'd be great. It'd be like a human transformer. That'd be pretty awesome. So, it's transformed to a mimic at will. That would be nice. I don't know. How about you, Jeff?
Well, I saw somebody had written there that they wanted to be a large bra, and I thought, well, that's creative.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god, that's kind of lewd.
Rather than answering that directly, what would happen if you had a bunch of mimics and a bunch of doppelgangers, and you told them to infiltrate each other?
Oh, there you go.
The shapeshifter was secret battles.
What would they look like?
God. We'd know. A room full of furniture, perhaps? How about you, darling?
For if I was at a party, I'd be a jukebox because everybody loves music.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
For a little bit of irony, I would be a refrigerator and eat people when they were hungry.
That's nice. I like that. Very good. All right. Chronicle also reports that there are new quarterly wallpapers available. They're pretty cool. They've got a dragon theme on them. And that's at DDO Media/wallpapers on DDO.com. Also,
I like how they put what is it? Shadowfell? Keep on the chat. I can't remember that. Shadowfell Conspiracy, and it's not even out yet.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's a teaser.
That's true. Yeah, that's cool. Also, both DDOcast and DDO Gamer got plugs this week on Chronicle, so thanks, DDO Chronicle.
Yay!
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Much obliged. Much obliged.
All right, we got a little lightning post. This is from Hannessy, the Halfling Assassin. It says, recently made epic level with Hannessy, and I was going to TR straight away. I didn't do the job the first time around. But I really enjoyed epic content. There's a lot to explore, and I've gotten into my craw that I need an epic midnight greetings. That's the kukri that kind of has finesse built in and gives you dex damage, which is pretty awesome. I have run Tides and Blacklock until I am nearly done, but a shard nor a seal has not dropped at all, let alone the previous MG. Not sure what that means, but I have run in pugs and guild groups and solo, but no avail. I've been on the forehand, and I'm not the only one who's having trouble with this grind. Do you think that the drop rates ever change? Devs read the forums, etc. Thanks again. Well, do they change? I don't know. You know, there probably was a change back when we went from having just epics to having epic, normal, hard, and elite. And I think that like epic normal doesn't have the drop rates that the old epics do. Hard is kind of similar, maybe a little weaker. And I think epic elite is as much or maybe a little bit higher drop rates than epic used to have. That's my understanding. I've also run those series of epic quests, Tides quite a bit, and I don't think it's Blacklock. I ran the other one, the Bazaar, whatever it's
Offering
called.
the Blood Bazaar or whatever, Bazaar Blood or...
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Because Anne needed something from Bazaar Blood, I needed something from Tides, and we ran those things a lot for a little while, usually on Epic Hard, and we didn't see squat. No seals, no shards. I think maybe I eventually got one seal out of one of them, but it wasn't something we needed. So I got lots of scrolls, strangely, and I used to never get scrolls, and I had plenty of shards and seals. Now it's kind of going the other way around. So it feels like maybe something's changed, but the level of randomness is really hard, I think, for any human being to judge when you're talking about 2, 3, 5% chances of things dropping. So I think it's kind of tough to figure that out.
Well, sometimes they do accidentally turn them off, right?
That's true.
I mean, they did that for the Sentinel series for like 2 entire updates or an entire update. No, nothing at all. Mm-hmm. So I haven't. Yeah, I'm having no luck. Now that was a while ago. I'm not saying that's what's happening now, but it might be. I mean, I'm having no luck at all in Spinner of Shadows to see any shards. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, it's hard to judge. I mean, I wish it was easy to tell when things like that happen. Like, oh, sorry, you didn't get a shard today. You know, but you might have if you were luckier.
Yeah.
Or you rolled a 10. You needed to roll a 95. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice if there was some sort of like weather indicator for when shards and seals and scrolls are available. You know.
Actually, I bet that would kind of be popular if there was something like that. You know, there's some variation, and then you could go somewhere in the game and find out which quests were hot this week or something. You know?
Yeah, there'd be like a weather report or something. There's unusual number of drops and X
tonight
pack.
Tonight the Sentinels will be clear and partly shardy.
Exactly.
That'd be a good way to sell adventure packs, though. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be great.
There's loot drops and something. People buy that one up. Interesting idea.
Get on it, devs. Chop chop.
There you go. More good ideas brought to you by DDOcast. Well, I think that's all we got planned for the show today. Anybody got stuff they want to mention before we roll on out?
Well, we talked about Gen Con. I guess it couldn't hurt to remind people we're going there.
Oh my gosh, we're going
to Gen Con. Yay. Please visit us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we have our event up, please sign up.
Yep. And I've made inquiries to Tolero, who are not. No, not Tolero, or is it? I don't know. Yes, Tolero. There we go. I just gotta get things straight in my brain about the the usual party they do on, I think, Friday nights or whatever for DDO. So we'll definitely be there wherever that happens to be and whenever it happens to be, and we'll bring you all the details as soon as we have them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll sign out at that. Big thanks to Ann, Jeff, and Shamgar for doing all they do for the show, and to our many fine listeners, and to Turbine and Wizards of the Coast for making a cool game. If you want to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can call us at 707-DDOcast or email us at DDOcast at gmail.com, but without the cough. Until next time, may all your attack rolls be crits, all your chest level appropriate, have fun, and don't forget to take some sinus medication.